right.
All right, Shalom. We're going to give all praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Akakwadash.
the belongs to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim and Zadakim that do the singing the utmost truth and sincerity. The Most High's gracious to teach His word another week. And what we want to go into is simply, the true depiction of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, His purpose, what's He here for, who's He here to save, And first and foremost, let's even go into the color of the Lord, all right? The depiction of the Most High. Somebody give me Job 9:24. And this is just completely in the spirit right now,
So this is Job 9, verse 24.
And somebody hold Revelation 1:13.
The earth is given into the hands of the wicked.
Right, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Now, a hand represents power. That's how come, they associate 5 with power. You got 5 fingers, right? The power of the planet Earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. Now, who's the wicked? When you go back to Genesis, you have the sons of men, which represents the other nations. You have the sons of God, which are the Israelites. You have the sons of the wicked, which is Esau, Edom, right? The Most High is giving them that power when you read about Daniel. Okay? Continue.
All right. It says, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
Who are the judges? All right? The judges starts with the Most High Yahweh, His son Yahushua, and the chosen elect of that chosen elect nation, which is the nation of Israel, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Those faces has been covered. All right. When you read about when you read the book of Isaiah, it talks about the covering cast over all the people, because you're not going to find Negro in the Bible. You're not going to find Jamaican, Dominican, Puerto Rican, Mexican. You're not going to find those terms in the Bible. But guess what? Those people have to have been in the Bible. Mm-hmm. What is their nationality? You see, when you watch the end of the movie and the credits roll, it says cast of characters, right? Like, for example, you got Al Pacino in Scarface. He's playing Tony Montana, but in Godfather he's playing Mike. Mm-hmm. But who is he? He's Al Pacino. So it's the same thing. Esau, Edom, all right? Who is that? Right. Yeah. Who is that? All right? Who's playing that role? Esau, Edom is still to here, and he's calling himself an American white man. That's what he's doing. See?
This Isaiah 25:7. And he will destroy in this mountain.
Now, a mountain represents a government. This government, go ahead.
The face of the cast over all people.
Right. So the rulership, in this rulership, the so-called white man is covered, like the nations that you read about in the Bible. The most recent one of the Persians. All right. Just recently they started calling themselves Iranians.
In 1935.
In 1935. Very, that's recent. And what this man does is he'll put a mask on. I'm not Esau anymore. I'm a Greek. Call me a Roman. But we have took that mask off.
Call me American.
Call me American, right. We have took that mask off for the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua and say, look, no, this man is a devil. Esau Edom, the one you read about in the scripture.
There's even more here.
Go ahead, brother.
So it's back in
Now we'll jump back to you.
It's back in this is the last part. It's back in Job 9, verse 24. Mm-hmm. The earth is given to the hands of the wicked. Mm-hmm. He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
Right.
If not, who and where is he?
Now, who is going around calling himself the Most High and his son? I don't see any Chinese depiction of Yahushua. I don't see an East Indian dot-head version of the Lord. All right. Every time you see the Lord, the Most High in mass media, he's looking like a so-called white man. They got that called the finger of God. All right. They mock David, giving him a micro penis and shit like a statue. All right. Now all that shit is mockery and wickedness, man. All right. First of all, King David had a beard on his face. Yeah. All right. He's gonna have some sort of facial hair on his face. Why? Because that's in the Lord's statutes and commandments. All right. Secondly, the Lord is not gonna have long hair. All right. He has a white woolly hair. All right. When I say long, I mean beyond your shoulders. All right.
Like a hippie.
Like a hippie. We got cornrows. That's fine. All right. You shouldn't have your hair down the back of your ass or some shit like Jake be doing and these wicked ass, feminine ass Edomites be doing. All right. Damn sure know like that depiction you see of the Lord. All right. That they call him the Lord. Okay. know, another different thing that they do, man. He said, when they show the Lord, they don't show him with fringes on. That's how come we have to go into the image of the Most High and His Son.
This is further proving that Esau, the so-called white man, is the wicked. This is Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
Right, because there was a period of time when the so-called white man was brought down very low. All right? They were brought down very low, but guess what? The Most High has brought them back up. Why? To fulfill prophecy. That's it.
Check this out. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw them.
Exactly. You know, and America has been built up. All right, this is Egypt all over again spiritually. This is Rome spitting image over again. All right, and what happened to those empires? All right, don't you know them pyramids you see now in the ancient world? They were like bright white. Okay, they used to put like limestone. All right, so from afar the sun will be hitting the pyramid and it'll look like the city's glowing. Now you can't tell that shit. It's all like decayed and shit like that. You know, the pharaoh and the shit that they were. I'm pretty sure they thought their kingdom was gonna last forever. You know why I say that? Because they were calling themselves gods. The pharaoh worship me like a deity. Now you're gonna cough in some, well, you're in the spirit world really, but all that stuff you done left behind, people done raided, tomb raided in the 1800s, tomb raided your shit. So you didn't take it with you in no afterlife. You see? And you were thinking of the past, but guess what? Guess what is still prominent? The Holy Scriptures.
And that's how one of the ways Esau got rich. Invaded, you know, but it was curses put on whoever would steal the gold from these pharaohs. And a lot of these Edomites was getting sick and dying. And they ain't know why. But tell you that they show you that in the movie The Exorcist, where he got that image, that demonic image that he picked up out of the tomb, and then I looked it up. A lot of them in the 1800s, in the mid 1800s, late 1800s, early 1900s, they was, you know, going into them tombs with archaeologists, taking all the gold and silver, but they was dying.
Yeah,
dropping dead.
They don't put all types of enchantments and shit on those materials, all right? And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I was going to say, it even shows you in those movies, The Mummy. Mummy 1, Mummy 2, Scorpion King. It shows you all that.
How them Egyptians put curses on their riches. Whoever, you know, take our riches, you know what I mean, they're going to die.
And they got to go through like elaborate traps to even try to like get to where it is, because, you know, those pharaohs knew at some point in time, you know.
In the back of their mind, they knew that they wasn't taking that, you know, to the afterlife. You know, and the Greeks also believed that you put coins in your eyes, and
you have to pay some bitch.
You have to pay.
Yo, it's just, you know,
this shit is folly, man. You have to pay
a lot of that fairy tale shit be laughing at. That was they came up with all that fairy tale bullshit. You know, you're gonna have to pay this bitch in afterlife. She's gonna come up to you. If you don't got the money, you're gonna go to Hades. So, yo, this is what's so wild. Like, so you telling me, yeah, you can have a hard life, die, and now you have a hard life for eternity? That's some fucked up shit, man.
Yeah, but the Most High work like that. So
no, Lord don't work like that at all. No.
So this is back in Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. I'm reading from the top. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Then the time of the Renaissance,
right?
It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness.
Right. Like all the wickedness you see on the planet Earth, like major wickedness, it all ties back to the so-called white people. The pollution of the planet Earth, the reason that the animals are sickly, trees are fake, everything is fake, everything is being destroyed, man. We stepping on concrete right now at an angle. You know what that's doing to your back? When you step on the earth, all that electricity is supposed to go into the earth. It's being shocked right back up into you, man.
I remember when I was down south in Mississippi visiting my grandmother, we used to walk on her compound with bare feet.
Yeah, so they call that earthing. Now, earthing is because you got, let the electric from the body go back into the earth, but a lot of third world countries doing that naturally. You know, Jamaica barefoot.
Barefoot in the grass, everything, in the field, you know what I mean? You know,
so this concrete thing is just, and we watch movies like I Am Legend, it shows you that the earth will fight against this thing. You know, if you don't take care of this, the earth will fight against it and start growing through it, fight against its content.
Right. So it says, you know, I just wanted to bring out that, you're right, because, you know, even when, you know, in Mississippi, where I was, you know, where my grandma was, you know, where there was concrete on a driveway, if she didn't mow it, weeds, you know, plants would grow up, you know what I mean? I don't, you know, like right on the sides.
Yeah.
They would grow up, you know what I mean? So you'd be like, oh shit, you know what I mean? So, you know, show you that Esau made this place a concrete jungle, man.
Pretty much.
So, but when the guy that specifically in the 1800s, late 1700s, early 1800s, America was like considered a paradise.
It looked like South America.
It was considered a paradise.
Yeah.
They done destroyed Venezuela. They done destroyed Venezuela, but that earthquake do hot. 50,000 dead plus, man.
I'm trying to get something.
So it's back in Malachi 4 verse it says, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
Yeah, you know, so the Most High has righteous anger against the so-called white man forever. All right, and for obvious reasons, man. All right, when you wake up to this truth and you know who the devil is, it's obvious. You know what I'm saying? Who else is doing this shit? Abortions everywhere. You know, the job I'm about to go to, number one 700 is Plan B.
You got another job now?
No, I'm talking about, you know,
Okay,
my
yeah.
night job, you know, Plan B. Just going off the shelf like water. You know what I'm saying? And that
Shit.
so-called white man brought that in there. Brought that in there, contraceptives and shit. Now women are just being loose.
You know what this chick said on TikTok? This is a black woman, a so-called black woman. She was like, in my early ages, I'm in my 30s now, but when I was in my 20s, I was loose, running the streets, jumping from man to man, and I had 8 abortions. Then I ran across the Hebrew Israelites, and I found out that when you have abortions, you really sacrificing your child to Moloch. I was like, what the fuck?
That's true. I mean, look.
She said that. She said you really sacrifice your kid to Moloch.
Yeah, I mean, that's all that is. You know, like just look who is behind it. Marcus Singer and the cultists.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And there's a reason abortion is prevalent amongst Jake, because guess what they do with them babies? They take their placentas and do all types of shit to try to look younger.
Yep.
It's a satanic world going on. Like there's the world you see, and there's a whole dark world with spirits, demons, and all that type of shit going on too. And guess what? They praying to these things. They doing ritualistic things. All right. There's this one billionaire. He had a bunch of nigga women around him at a dinner
I saw
table.
that video.
Yeah, he was saying y'all don't know how precious y'all placenta or some shit like that is, man. And they said specifically the black woman because that melanin. They want that melanin to stay look young, man. You know what I'm saying? So these people are satanic, man. You know. But yeah, this man's a devil.
And then real quick.
Yeah, and then let me get Revelations 20,
Real quick.
13. Yep.
You had this, you know, I ran across a Planned Parenthood, right? So I went inside, you know, and it was a lot of black women. I said, you know who this black is? Margaret Singer. So I looked her up, and I had her on my phone. I said, she was a spokeswoman for the Ku Klux Klan. And look what she was saying about black men and black women, and they have to abort their babies. And that's exactly and that's exactly what you're doing. They looked at me, and the security said, "You gotta leave."
They don't care.
Because I was cutting them women to heart. I just said that. This is early. This is not recent. This is like, you know, years ago. But I did a video on this. How I went into Planned Parenthood. Cause that's what Margaret Singer, the spokeswoman for the Ku Klux Klan in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and she was one of the people that founded eugenics. Eugenics didn't come
Positive
from,
and negative
they
eugenics.
didn't come from Germany. Germany got that from America. Eugenics and doing all kind of crazy to people, man. Experimenting on them. They get that from America.
Look, man, you know they got clips of babies fighting, like, because they want to do 9 months abortion. You had this one baby that was born and it came out holding the contraceptives.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So they had it in his hand. You know, and
He was fighting.
no. You know the shit they put up there, so you know
So
they
they kill him.
So no. So when you busting them, it don't
Like
make
the
it
tool,
pregnant.
basically. The tool.
The little tool shit. So a baby was born holding that shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you could see a real baby came out the woman who was holding the contract. It shows you that it's the Most High that killed it to make us alive.
So the baby was alive and was holding in his hand. Like,
You know, so women put the little.
I know the thing. The birth, the birth
Yep.
thing. So the baby had it. This is the birth thing right here. The baby had it in his hand. I
Yeah,
guess.
he was holding it tight.
It was
like
alive?
a string. Yeah.
The baby was alive.
Yeah,
Wow.
the baby came out anyways.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
The Most High's.
yeah.
The Most High's beautiful, man.
I told somebody about one of my friends from Jamaica. The girl had the same thing. He ended up having twins.
Wow, you see that? So
Yeah.
if the Most High want a child to come forth, you gonna come forth. That's a story to tell too. Like I came out holding that shit, so you meant to be here. I mean, everybody's meant to be here, you know. But there ain't no accidents and there's no.
That's right. The Most High. He brings forth seed, and everybody's meant to be here because everybody's coming back for their judgment.
There you go.
Yep. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of
The
Man.
7 candlesticks represents the 7 churches of Asia Minor. The Son of Man, Bonadama, means son of the earth, son of the ground. What color is the ground? The earth.
Dark brown.
It's a dark brown.
Shades of brown.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Clothed with a garment down to the foot.
Now, this is why we wear this. Please only do this when you're at camp. Or walk around with it at work like some guys tell you. But the reason we have this down, this garment, because this is how garments used to be in the ancient world. Okay?
Down to our feet.
Down to our feet. In fact, if you go over to the Middle East now, you see a lot of them guys that wear garments like similar to that. They don't have a border of fringes, but they have it down in the foot because in Eastern customs, which is an Eastern book, Eastern traditions, you're supposed to do whatever your father did. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to carry on the traditions of your father. So if you go over to the Middle East, most haven't changed in the past 2,000 years. In America, it's different. You know, the 80s is not like the 70s, and the 70s is not like the 90s. Everybody comes in with their own shit. Every era feel like you time traveled in another universe.
That's Esau setting
Every 10
trends.
years, there's a new shit going
That's
on. You know
Esau
what I'm
setting
saying?
trends through the media.
Yeah, you know, you in the 80s, you got a high top, braids, and now fades, and then everything.
With a radio on your
Yeah.
ear.
Like right now, when folks wearing baggy sweats, baggy jeans.
Baggy is back now.
Yeah,
You see that?
exactly, yeah.
Well,
Baggy is back now. So,
I appreciate that because I wasn't wearing them skinny jeans, man.
there you go. So, baggy is back now, but you know wherever it goes, anything but goddamn spandex. All right. So they were gonna go that way.
That shit ain't never gonna have a style, man. Spandex, man.
So, in the Middle East, ain't none of that shit. Whatever your dad did, that's what we're gonna carry on. That's the customs and traditions we're gonna carry on. You know what I'm saying? So, that's why, boom, down to the foot. Okay? All right?
It reads, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
Now, a girdle is used to protect the
Belt.
midsection. Okay? And used as a belt. Protect the midsection in times of war. All right?
And it's a sheath for your fucking sword.
And a sheath for your sword, right? So the Most High's son wore warlike apparel. Why? Because when you read Exodus 53, it tells you the Most High is a man of war.
Yeah.
So like father, like son.
That's right.
So he has, not only is it a warlike apparel, he said no gold. So that's a royal warrior type appearance right there. Right now, we just read a few scriptures, and this will be mind blowing for a lot of people. Because they always think about the Lord looking some raggedy, dingy, Edomite, some
Fucking
fucking
looking person.
sheets on or whatever. Nah, man, the Lord was a very austere, serious, so-called black man. All right, this is how he dressed. This is how he carried himself when he's in his glory. Go ahead.
Yep. It reads, verse 14, his head and his hairs were white like wool.
Right. His head and his hairs were white like wool. Doesn't mean y'all see white head? No, idiot. The hair on his head was white because that represents wisdom. All right.
Yeah.
In most cases, it should. Okay, because the scriptures tell you wisdom don't come by length of age. So you can have something called no fool. Right. But the Lord was 30-something years old, very young looking, a head full of gray hairs. Now I'm gonna use what you call extrapolation when I make this statement. All right. The scriptures doesn't outright say it, but those around him could have also possibly had gray hairs. Now, why do I say it? Because there would be no need for Judas to kiss him. You could just say the guy with the gray hair. You know what I'm saying? So he had to bear some sort of resemblance to those around him. Point them out. You know what I'm saying? So just like how all the apostles got gray hair, you wouldn't just say, oh, but if only one person had gray hair, you could just say, no, him with the gray hair. So, you know, just a little extrapolation.
But they used to catch all that stress in that time.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's a good analogy because we all got gray hairs, so we all have similar features. You know, the guy with the beard, We all got beards.
Yeah, it would have. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So if Judas had to kiss him, there was brothers at least that had similar characteristics. The Lord,
I got a quick precept.
Oh, the gray?
It's wisdom in the hair. Like it's color. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 9. It reads, "But wisdom is the gray hair unto men, and the unspotted life is old age."
Right. You know what I'm saying? So wisdom is the gray. And you know what these niggas will do? Dye the hair. That shows that just because you have the gray hair don't mean you wise. Because these niggas will have gray hair and then dye it.
Yeah.
Black. Like, you idiot. You're supposed to keep that, man. I'm saying that I'm looking around. I see these brothers getting their grades. I'm envious. Because they're the same age as me. I'm like, damn, okay, I gotta know. I don't know.
You ain't got no grades?
I can't control it. All I know is I'm in the truth, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
Right?
You get one gray hair, bro, you pluck it. Watch what happens. I see one coming. I see it on your chin. Pluck that shit. Right here. On that side. Pluck it.
I appreciate it, brother.
Pluck what's going to happen. Watch what happens.
Nah, but I'm just saying, though, you got brothers that are in their 30s that do have gray hairs, So the Lord was 33 with a full head of gray, man. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the abundance of wisdom.
I'm going to read it again. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 14. It reads, "His head and his hairs were white like wool."
Now, here's a woolly texture. Who has woolly hair? Just go on a barbershop in the hood anywhere, all right, and just look at the floor. Is it going to be doggy, stringy hair, or is it going to be woolly? It's going to be woolly hair like a Jake, a Negro. A lot of Latin tribes, too, got the woolly hair,
Yep, I seen it on the job. Simeonite. His joint, he got coarse hair, which they would call coarse, woolly.
Yeah, they got woolly hair. It might not be as kinky as a Judah, but you shave their head off too. Same thing. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta understand something. A lot of Latin tribes, they go back to the Taínos. They go back to Gat. So they have that long hair.
Right. That straight hair.
That straight hair, but that doesn't mean that they,
Right.
They just Gat.
Well, another thing too is Jake hair is lively. You know what I'm saying? If you look at this, the afro itself, it's just like a powerful look. Your hair is actually growing up like that. You know what I'm saying?
Matter of fact,
And a lot of slaves too, were living in those like Hispanic countries. Like Dominican Republic, Cuba, Puerto Rico.
Right. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Quick
It
precept.
reads,
It's not quick precept. Proverbs 16:31. The hoary head is a crown of glory if it be found in the way of the righteousness.
I love that precept because it just backs up what I was saying to the spirit, that it has to be found in righteousness. Because you could be a wicked ass nigga with gray heads. Don King.
yeah.
Don King was a wicked, grimy, slimy piece of shit, but he had a full head of huge afro with a gray hair all over.
check it out. I just brought up afros of the 70s. Look at this. You got Jake, even Jake women with afros.
Yeah, man.
Look at this. Look at this. It's a beautiful thing right here. Look at this right here. It's a picture of two Jakes holding their sister up,
Yep. And one thing with Jake here, you could do a lot with it.
Yeah.
You know I can't do that.
Yeah. See that?
You know?
It's a lot of it's a lot of hair. Look at that. See that right there,
It's,
bro?
going back, it reads, "As white as snow, and his eyes were a flame of fire."
Now, why his eyes was a flame of fire? Scriptures tell you his teeth shall be white with milk.
The one was a
His
wine
eyes
bibber.
red with wine, man. All right? He had red eyes, all right? And he's also pissed off. Okay? The Lord is also pissed off. Now that we got the image of the Lord, all right? Now we got to go into who the hell he came for. Somebody get me Matthew 1:21.
If I could add too, the scripture also says that the Lord was a wine bibber.
Right.
So
he wasn't
that
a wine.
What?
He wasn't a wine bibber.
Okay.
They were
They
saying
accused him of being a wine bibber.
Accused him of being a wine. He drank wine. They say, drunker than a wine bibber, but they was mocking him when they were saying that. The man drank wine, man. That was his first miracle, trying to order the wine. First of all, the scriptures speak about a blessing in the wine.
Yeah.
You got 1:21?
I got it.
Hey, you see that?
What?
Yep.
Ephraim.
Pick one of myself.
Right. Yep.
This is Matthew chapter 1, verse 21. "And she shall bring forth a son."
Now, give me Hebrews 7:14. Go ahead. He shall be. Go ahead.
Yep. This is Matthew 1:21. "And she shall bring forth a son."
Now, who's that she? That she is being Mary. Okay? By the way, Mary was probably about 15 years old, 14, 15 years old, and Joseph was probably like 35, 36. All right? Again, that's what the scholars say.
Yeah.
But if you're in your goddamn feelings, All right, and if for some reason you think a woman is a woman when she's 18, that might be a stumbling block onto you.
Yeah. She come over, she receive her flower.
Once you see the flower of our age, man.
Right.
Watch Game of Thrones, medieval shit.
Did she bleed yet?
Exactly.
You know?
You know, when signs of blood, you know, she was like, oh shit, it's a crab, you're gonna take it now. You see what I'm saying? So, get out your damn emotions, all right? Even you Israelites talking about you're not a man, an adult till 21. What the fuck you niggas on, man?
21, you word to you consider an older.
Yo,
older
the
gentleman.
moment you can produce another human being, you're an adult, okay? That's what the scriptures say. Not your damn feelings.
It's like 12 for
Let me
boys,
ask you a
about
question.
roughly like
You
12.
turn 12, you're a man.
Yep.
So you 21, you well into your adult years, man.
Yeah.
What the hell is Esau was talking about?
Even
man?
the so-called Jew have bar mitzvahs. So what the fuck what's that about?
Yeah.
That means, okay, my son can produce another human being now, man. All right?
And that's how Jake became mad fruitful. Because when they 12, 13, they start humping. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep, it's true. I remember when I was in middle school, you know, Shorty coming up, pulling the stroller. She was 15 and, you know, it happened young. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was in middle school. At 13, my friend had a kid. So
Yeah.
it shows you right there. 13 years old.
Yep.
So don't say when that happens. No.
Yep.
So it reads, let me read it again. This is Matthew 1:21. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahushua.
Thou shalt call his name Yahushua. Now in the English, verbatim, they have the word there, Jesus. Okay? Which is the Greek translation, Greek transliteration of the word Yahushua. Alright? The English transliteration is the word Joshua. Alright? Joshua means Yahushua, same thing. He is a deliverer. Okay? Because when you read about Joshua, under Moses, before he was named Joshua, his name was Hosea, which means Savior or Deliverer. And then his name got changed to Joshua, which he is the Savior. Alright? So,
He was a fierce warrior too.
he was his faithful. Yep.
He was a fierce warrior.
Exactly, brother. You got
Yep. It reads, for he shall save his people.
possessive pronoun. His. You got mine, you got yours, you got his, you got hers. His people. Alright? Who's the Lord's people? Vocab. The Gentiles. No, nigga. We're gonna go into it.
The sons of Israel.
Just finish it real quick.
No, before you read it,
All right,
let's
cool.
just get his people.
Hebrews 7:14. For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah.
Sprang out of Judah. Alright? What does it mean he sprang out of Judah? His seed, alright, went back to the fourth son of the patriarch Jacob. Alright, who was Judah. Okay? In fact, you don't have to read it, but when you read up in Matthew, the first chapter, it gets his whole chronicles leading up to his birth.
The genealogy, it's called the genealogy of Yahushua. The genealogy of Yahushua.
Right. That's how come they use the term spring out, because when you plant the seed in the earth, the offspring spring out.
Yeah.
All right? Go ahead.
Yep, see? Of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood.
Right. So the priesthood belonged to the Levites, but Yahushua going on that cross and dying and right in the temple was a symbolic, was signifying that we've now become an entire nation of kings and priests. That's right. All right. So I remember one brother was like, "It's a priest, Shaman. You're not a Levite." I said, "I'll be all priests. Don't worry about it." You know what I'm saying? At least now, with Yahushua going on that cross, we all out here preaching.
Yeah, kings and priests.
Kings and priests.
It reads, for he shall save his people from their sins.
Right. So who could sin? What is a sin? Somebody give me 1 John 3 and 4. And look, man, that's all you gotta do, brothers. Know your basic precept, like chess, right? Develop your knight. Pawn in the center. The basic
John
stuff.
was what?
1 John 3 and 4.
Okay, I got you.
Your
Got it?
principal
All right.
stuff, right? And this is just principal things. Who is the Lord? What does he look like? Who's he coming for? What's he coming to bring back? Okay? What is sin? 1 John 3 and 4. Let's get it, man.
Yeah, I got it right now. I got it.
Beautiful, man. B-E-A-U.
This is 1 John 3 verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law.
Right. Why? Go ahead, keep
It
reading.
says, for sin is the transgression of the law.
To commit a sin, you have to break a law, statute, and commandment of the Heavenly Father. And there is more than just 10 commandments. Okay, first of all, you have an entire chapter devoted to what you could eat. Leviticus 11.
Dietary laws.
Dietary laws. So there's about 613 different laws, statutes, and commandments, and you can't remember all of them. They're there. And you break one, you break them all. So, with that said, none of us could have kept that perfectly.
That's right.
You know, that's why Yahushua had to come on the scene, shed his blood, and now through his grace, through faith in him, you can obtain salvation. You can even hold Judges 5 and 11 too.
Real quick, the Most High programmed us to go off.
The creatures made subject unto vanity.
Yep.
Because the Most High programmed us to go off. That's like the Most High, when He give us these new bodies,
Yep.
and take that stony heart from us, give us a heart of flesh, He going to program us to keep the laws, such commandments perfectly. But the Lord in this time programmed us to go off.
Yep.
See, He keep on whipping our ass.
Yeah, hey, look, man, there's so many laws you break you don't even know, man.
To get judged as well.
Judges 5 and 11.
Okay, I got you.
You know, because we just mentioned the law to the Spirit. We're trying our best to keep it. The ones that we can keep. You know, now, I take a prime example for the Sabbath. You're not supposed to work. You're not supposed to turn on a stove or nothing like that. But
Or TV.
you know, and pleasure and things like this, it's not supposed to go on the Sabbath. But guess what? You have to work. What you gonna tell your boss? You see, if you said, all right, I'm gonna tell my boss I'm gonna take off Saturdays. Guess what? The Sabbath is not a set day.
Yeah.
It moves according to the moon. So you're gonna go on your job and say, look, man, I need every Sabbath off according to the moon. They go like next.
So,
Thank you for coming in, sir. Next.
you said 5 and 1?
Judges 5 and 11.
Judges 5 and 11, I got you.
So therefore, we're gonna keep the best law. We're gonna keep the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability. You know damn well you could not commit adultery. All right. You can keep that law. Growing your beard, no lineups, no eat no pork, shrimp, lobsters. You know,
Spiritual, physical adultery.
spiritual,
Idolatry.
idolatry.
Honoring your father, your mother.
Honoring your father. That's a good one, brother.
Basic.
Yep.
You know, crazy thing is, you got
So
these
he's poor,
dudes,
yep.
these young, these
That's why you gotta
YN
read the ingredients.
these YN in the world, you know, they get a job, you know, instead of them maintaining that job and trying to take care of their household legally, dude get a job, working, get 2-3 paychecks, and he stop missing work 3-4 days. Now you put me in a bind now, my man, because you missing for the whole month of this month right here, June. He missed damn near 3 weeks. So, and then he not calling in and doing nothing, but I'm giving him having mercy on him. When he come in, what's up? What's going on? I have a problem in my house. Gonna find out. Do some chick that he's giving on the job. He said he's not just selling weed.
Yeah.
He went and spent his paychecks and got a couple of pounds of weed, and now he got to sell weed. That's why he can't come in.
You know what? Speaking of the laws, the scriptures speak about witchcraft, right? So you're not supposed to be dealing with no weed, man. You know what I'm saying? Because that's putting different spirits on you.
It's altering your mind.
It alters your mind. It puts your mind in a particular state, man.
Death sentence.
You know what I'm
So,
saying?
when she told me that, I didn't say nothing. I tried to consult with him, but I saw him again. He said, "Now I'm having a problem with my family." I said, "All right, bro, check this out. You can't miss no more days, man. Because
Is that all that?
and guess what? After that, he just defied me. And the next day, 3 days later, he come in. I sent him home. I don't need you no more, bro.
That's it, man.
So this is Judges chapter 5 verse 11. And they that are delivered from the noise of archers.
Right. So they that are delivered from the noise of the archers. What's that talking about? Delivered, huh?
No, it's like
Delivered
That's
from the
an easy
missiles.
one. That's right.
Delivered from the missiles, all right? The archers are them silos that's to be shooting out these missiles. Okay? Delivered how? Via the chariots. What the world ignorantly called UFOs. They're actually IFOs. They identified in the Bible as the chariot of Israel. Right?
The ancient archers are men. You watch that movie 300? The archers that were shooting arrows and blocking the sun? Those are archers. Now the modern day archers are themselves, like the elder said. It says, I'm gonna read it from the top again. Judges chapter 5 verse 11. They that are delivered from the noise of the archers in the place of drawing waters.
In the place of drawing waters. That's talking about here in America. It represents slavery because what did Joshua do? He made them hewers of wood and drawers of water, man. Okay?
That's beautiful. It says, you going back to that. It says, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts.
There shall they rehearse the righteous acts. Alright? So, you know, when you go see a movie and you're looking at the end product of the movie, there's no outtakes, nobody fucked up their lines, everything is played out exactly how it's perfect. But leading up to that movie, you have rehearsals. Practicing, and that's what we do now.
Cut. Let's do it over.
There's times, yeah, somebody had to do 30 takes to get this one scene or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Grueling. So it's the same thing now. You know, you're gonna go off. You're gonna pray to the Lord for forgiveness, and Lord, please, hope it never happens. It's gonna happen again. You know, and I'm not saying we're doing these things willingly. I'm just saying, according to the scriptures, as long as we're in the flesh, you know what I'm saying? Something's gonna happen, man.
Yeah, because you're in the chains of darkness. These flesh is chains of darkness.
It's warned against the spirit.
Like that movie, like that movie, what you call that movie? Once Upon a Time in America, dealing with the Jewish mafia, they had to do one particular scene more than 12 times because they kept getting it wrong.
Well, you know, the director might want it a certain way. Tarantino is known for that. He's just shooting hours and shit. You know, he's what you call like perfectionist, you know. But the most side the same way. Go ahead.
A little more. It says, there they shall rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord, even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Israel. Then shall the people of the Lord go down
The
to the
Shemans.
gates.
Yeah.
It's the government, you know.
Right. Yep. This is the
Gotta
book
get
of
one for
Romans,
myself.
chapter 3, verse 31. It reads,
Let me get Matthew 12:17.
do we then make void the law through faith?
Right. So since Yahweh Shah gave us grace, do we just say, "Look, the hell with the law"? You know who does that? The so-called Christians.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when I was working at BJ's. I can say it now because I'm no longer working there. We're in the break room, and I'm like, I'm not eating no pork. And this nigga, well, she's cool. She's a Benjamite woman. She's like, you know, you can't eat over there prayer right. And she gave me that look like I'm teaching you something. You know, you can't eat over prayer right. You know, you say something walking away like you just dropped a bomb on some nigga. So that's how she was telling me, you know, you can eat it in prayer over like she's some wise. She just gave me some deep, dark, wise revelation.
Dark wisdom.
Yeah, because you know they thinking about the situation with Cornelius.
Yeah. And with Paul.
Yeah.
When he told Paul, rise up and eat.
Yeah, whatever the Most High made.
That was Peter. No,
Peter. Yeah,
that was Peter. It's not it. That was Peter. Yeah.
You know, the Most High can make something unclean clean. That's not going into fucking pork, man.
Yeah.
That's going into
shrimps and lobsters.
Shrimps and lobsters. You know, what that's going into is the Israelites that with a Gentile unclean state of mind, coming back to their nationality, becoming clean again, man.
You can teach them.
You can teach them. You can work with them. And they call themselves Greeks right now. They got the togas. They probably do some crazy, nasty stuff. You know, following after the Romans. But at the end of the day, the Israelites, go ahead and teach them. You know, and the elected Muslims is going to come back to the fold. That's what that's going into.
I was going to say, too, that shows you that they don't even read. That's why I was going to say, blessed is he that readeth, because if you just read the whole chapter, it basically breaks it down.
Well, you know what, too? Somebody get Proverbs 4:7 real quick.
Yeah, I got you right now.
Because, you know, brother, some of them do read. They read the entire thing. They read it. Yo, you got people in a Christian shirt that have read the Bible like 10 times. You know what I'm saying?
It says, matter of fact, I'm going to start at, you said 4 and 7, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to start at 5. Get wisdom, get understanding.
And wisdom again. So that's the problem. The wisdom is knowing that you're not supposed to eat pork. The understanding is why. You get the wisdom from reading it, so they know it, but they don't understand what the Most High is saying. You know, they don't
eat that shit.
Right. They don't understand what the Lord told Peter.
That's right.
You see, they read it, yes, but they don't have to understand it.
It says, I'm going to read it from the top again. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 5. Get wisdom, get understanding. Forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Verse 6. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee.
It's all about wisdom, that she.
That's right. Sophia.
Mm-hmm.
It says, love her, and she shall keep thee. Here's the point. It says, wisdom is the principal thing.
Wisdom is the principal thing, yep.
Therefore get wisdom. And for all that getting, get understanding.
Gotta understand what you're reading, man. All right. Remember the Ethiopian eunuch? Who came out to him? That was man. Who came out to him? The Ethiopian eunuch, and he was like, "You understand?" It was Philip, I think.
Understand what that was reading.
And
That was,
he's like, "You understand what you're reading?" It could be Philip. I could be wrong.
I think that's an axe.
It's an act, but I think the person that was speaking to the Ethiopian
It was
was
Philip.
Yep.
I get it, just confirm.
Yeah. So he
It
was like,
Philip.
"You understand what you're reading?" He was humble. He said, "How can I understand unless I have a teacher?"
Yeah.
So you gotta have somebody. Everybody's gonna have a teacher. Nobody gets this on their own. All right.
So he was sitting in the chariot reading the scriptures,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when Philip came upon him like, yo, you understand what you're reading, man?
Which
Most
also
I sent him.
proved that you had Jakes. All right, calling himself Ethiopians, man.
Yeah.
He was a eunuch of the Ethiopian, you know, like a man in the military, right?
Yeah, man. Because look, you have different type of eunuchs. Okay, you have a eunuch that is one by choice and one that is not by choice. All right, so this man, right? I want to speculate and say he was a man of choice that was an Ethiopian eunuch.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that shit, man.
I mean, you don't deal with women.
Yeah, but I understand that, but you know,
I wouldn't do that either. You know what I'm saying? But every brother got their own spirit. You know.
Yeah,
Some-
you're right.
Philip.
Yes, Philip.
Okay, so some brothers, you know, they say, look, man, I'm just focused on the king. Paul's like that.
Yeah.
Paul just got into a eunuch mode. I'm not dealing with no woman. I'm just locked him in the spirit right now.
And then you got the Romans that made you to a eunuch.
Like, chopping off their members. In fact, if you was a male working around like a royal guard, so you can't deal
His
with his
harem.
daughters or his harem, they'll chop your shit off, man.
Yeah. And then,
They even showed you that
Game of
In the movie
Thrones.
Game of Thrones where the dude that was like the head of the yeah.
Sully, all the entire Sully had this shit. He couldn't
Yeah.
even deal with the woman.
Also, they show you that in the movie Caligula. Also, they show you that there's a bunch of movies that show you that.
Because it wasn't like some deep thing at the time it was going down. It was like common practice. You around my harem, you know, chop the
I
balls
don't
off,
trust you.
man. I want you know. You see,
Well, you can't
it's
get
just
around.
like it's just like putting a muzzle on a dog so it don't bite you. You know,
Damn.
because if a man and a woman hang around long enough, they're gonna find attraction, even if you think the bitch is ugly. If it's just you and her, and it's a year in, and there's no other woman around, you're just gonna stand up at night. You're gonna want to kill her. You know what I'm saying? So
And
with
you're gonna
that-
kiss him.
So with that said, right, when I said killed her, I meant kill her with your rod, man.
And you're
Yeah,
gonna
I
kiss
know
him.
what you meant.
Right.
You all know that. And you're
Okay.
gonna kiss him, right? Because you're gonna get passionate, you're gonna kiss him.
Yeah, hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, to prevent those measures, the royal, it was a man's mouth was like, all right, get rid of the members, so none of that could blossom.
That
I was
Chanel
gonna
was
say-
taking the stones. The infinity stones, yo. That's crazy.
Damn, man. The Romans was taking everything. Just leaving the rod there. You know what I mean?
I'd rather death.
Me too, bro.
I was gonna say, going back to like with Paul, because even in those times, right, you had like a sect called the Gnostics, when they basically believed that if you had sex, you was going off. So when Paul was breaking it down to the Israelites that was in Corinth, that's why he was telling them like you could marry. He was giving advice you could marry. You could have a wife, but if you ask me, I would say don't deal with no woman because they cause most trouble in the flesh. You know what I'm saying?
A woman's a burden, man, a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's like you have a growing child at times, man. You know what I'm saying? And the only time you really, let's be honest, man, the only time you're really feeling for a woman is when you horny, you want to deal with a woman, but after you get your nut off, you get your senses back, you're like, okay, wait for this.
Even black women, older black women say that the average woman, she don't mature more than past 14 years old.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like,
They
think
don't-
about it, man. You can take a woman, she in her 30s, and you can take her to Dave and Buster's. So you have a grown woman walking with you with kids behind you, they get the same fulfillment and joy from stepping on some shit and hitting the whack-a-mole.
But the average woman, they don't mentally, they don't grow
Good job,
up,
brother.
they don't go over the age of, their mentality sinks at the age of 14. You know, modern day women. You can look how they act. Look how they act.
You got something? Go on.
After you finish that.
I was gonna finish. Now this is Romans chapter 3, verse 31. It reads, do we then make void the law through faith?
Right. Go ahead.
Lord forbid.
Most I forbid.
year we established the law.
We established the law. You see? And you have Matthew 5:17, right? Somebody? Matthew 5:17?
I guess you do.
Yeah, man. So the Lord did not come to destroy the law. The scriptures, the laws are still in effect, man. All right? The law, statutes, and commandments are still in effect. Now, we're just under grace. Meaning, even though we're breaking these laws, there's still salvation through Yahweh Shah.
There's certain laws we can't keep. The law of the garments, you know what I'm saying?
Mixed fabrics, yeah.
We can't keep that. You know, we ain't Babylon, man. You know?
You want that right quick? Matthew 5:17. Think not that I'm come to destroy the law or the prophets. I'm not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
Right. So the mindset is, oh well, you know, Yahweh Shah came, the laws are done away. No. He came to fulfill the laws. And he's not here to destroy the laws. Okay? The laws are a beautiful, perfect thing. It's just these bodies are imperfection. That's what's happening.
Okay, but when Yahshua was on the scene, he established the law. You know, because you had different sects of Israelites that had different beliefs. But what Yahshua would do is break it down. Like he broke down, you could, like what he was doing, picking corn on the Sabbath, and he was saying, look, if you're hungry, then what you gonna do? Or if your cow fell into the ditch on the Sabbath, should you leave your cow to die? So Yahshua was establishing the law, and the same thing Paul is doing too among the churches of Asia Minor. It's over. I got preacher though for you. If you don't mind. Oh, I slack it. Matthew 5, right?
5:17.
Okay. Matthew 5:17. It says, "Think not that I'm come to destroy the law or the prophets. I'm not come to destroy, but to fulfill."
Hold on, brother. Did you read that already?
I did, but it's okay. It's all good.
Oh yeah. Well, we break this over down. I just wanted that out there.
Okay. I got a quick precept. Romans 10:2. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High.
Now they have a zeal. Today, Israel. You know what I'm saying? Our people have a zeal according to the Lord. Like, I remember Eddie Griffin, he was doing a stand-up, and he was like, you know, the white churches. He's like, you go in there, you're like, oh, he. Like, you watching them on TV. You know they doing that shit?
Yeah.
He said, you go on the black church, he'd be like, and the Lord. And Eddie Griffin was like, yo, you don't even know what that motherfucker's talking about, but you can feel the Lord in there. So Jake is they got the spirit, you know, they got a zeal to him. You know, even these bugged out Jakes, when they come up to us, they're very zealous.
Yeah.
You know, they walking back and forth with the Bible, thinking, you know, they're very zealous.
Last week.
Like last week, those Jakes said, get off my plot. Esau don't say shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because Jake got a zeal for the truth. But go ahead.
It says, but not according to knowledge.
But not according to knowledge. Yeah, I was watching Captain Tazariak versus, what was it, Hebrew Israelites versus 10 Christians or whatever.
Yeah, that shit was bugged out, bro.
Yo, but there was one Jake that he was dealing with. This motherfucker was so zealous. He was like, all right, let's go here. That's not, you know.
He was saying that. He was saying, one dude was saying that Yahweh Shah, you know, was born saying Joseph didn't have sex with Mary, and he was his spiritual father, but he wasn't his physical father. I'm like, what the?
So the Jake that was zealous, he was trying to prove that the Most High is son of one person.
Yeah.
But he stood out the most because, you know, Captain Zariak, he was dealing with Edomites and all this. But this one Jake was like, all right, bet. All right, no, stay right here. That's how he was. Jake really get passionate about, you know what I'm saying? But they don't have the knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
It's two separate entities. But they don't, these Christians, that's why when a Christian come up, I'm gonna bring out, listen, I will answer your question. We'll break down Isaiah the 34th chapter. If you can't break the whole chapter down, let's break down one verse. What does this mean? What does it mean? When the Most High has a sacrifice in the land of Boston, what that mean? If they can't break that down, if you can't break that down, just walk up the block. I'm not gonna answer your question. That's how you do. You take them to deep waters. Prophecy. They don't have to deal with prophecy.
Right. And you know what? Now that we got into the basics of who our Lord is, his true name, his true depiction, now and who he's coming back to save. So we dealt with the deliverance part, but he's also going to bring destruction. Let's get into that.
Yep. This is Matthew chapter 10, verse 34. It reads, think not that I've come to send peace on earth.
Right, so the Lord is not coming back to bring peace. All right, he's going to bring peace for few, but not peace for many.
Yeah.
Right?
I came not to send peace, but a sword.
Right, a sword represents an instrument of destruction. All right, Yahushua is going to come back in the midst of the fire, in the midst of a thermonuclear destruction. All right, thermonuclear war rather. Yahushua is going to make his grandiose appearance in the chariots to issue even more fire upon this place, man.
Yeah, peace and food.
That's it, or
Yeah, that was it. I got it.
Now going into destruction.
yeah.
This is about to happen. This is what's happening right now. This is Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 9. For lo, I will rise and cause to come up against Babylon, which is America, an assembly of great nations.
Yeah, the assembly of great nations. The first is going to start with the allies of Israel and the allies of Iran. It's all going to kick off in the Middle East. Who's allied with them? You've got the United States, allied with Israel, different nations. And then allied with Iran, you have Russia, you have China, all nations that have nuclear capabilities. All right, that's going to kick this thing off. Go ahead.
It says, and before I do, I believe Saudi Arabia has a nuclear weapon because of the fact that they funded the Pakistani nuclear program back in the 60s. So, in exchange for funding their nuclear program, when the nuclear program, where everything is manufactured, give me a nuke. I fund you.
Them Saudi Arabians, they got billions, man. So you have something called a black market. All right, so there's different ways for countries. You know, again, if they don't have the technology there to make it, just buy it.
So they funded the Pakistani nuclear program in the 60s in exchange for a nuclear tool. And that came out. What's his name again? Larry Johnson brought that out, and a few other people brought that out. You know what I'm saying? Ray McGovern brought that out. So I'm gonna finish right here. It says back in Jeremiah 50:9, for lo, I will rise and cause to come up against Babylon, an assembly of great nations, from the north country. And they shall set themselves in array against her. From this shall she be taken. From this she shall be taken. Their arrows.
So who's taken? All right, he's talking about America. Jeremiah 49, 50, and 51 wasn't always Jeremiah 49, 50, and 51. It was just before it was codified. It was just one letter.
Yeah.
So from this part of this one letter, from 49 to 51, Jeremiah starts speaking about Babylon. Okay. Now the Babylon he's talking about is not the ancient world Babylon, because there's certain particular prophecies. If you know that the Most High is not a lie and every word shall be fulfilled, that you read about that does not fit ancient Babylon.
Yeah.
So if it's not fitting ancient Babylon, what is he talking about? Babylon, when you break down that word, Babal, confusion, lawn, land, a confused land. That's America. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, big time. So it says, from this shall she be taken, their arrow shall be as a mighty expert man, none shall return in vain.
Now, the hypernym of the word arrow, a hypernym for the word arrow is missile.
That's right.
Okay, so the missiles.
To prove that movie with
John Travolta's Broken Arrow.
Joke, yeah, you took it out of my broken arrow. You know what I mean?
It's an effective missile.
Yeah.
And if you look at an arrow, it's just like a missile, right? The head of the destruction is in the head.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? The same thing with the nuclear missile. The bulk of the destruction is in the nuclear warheads. The scriptures talk about that their teeth do hurt, all right? Because
That's some warheads.
the warheads, you know, you can have multiple warheads. The scriptures speak about 200 million horses, 200,000, which is 200 million. You can have one nuclear warhead, one missile carrying thousands of warheads in them.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. It says verse 10.
So you don't need 200 missiles.
That's right. It says Jeremiah 50 verse 10, and Chaldea, another name for America, shall be a spoil, and all that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord Yahweh.
Yeah.
Verse 11, because you were glad, you know what, that was it. That was it.
Yep. This is Isaiah chapter 24, verse 3. The land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for the Lord hath spoken this word.
Right, the Most High is going to turn America into a wasteland, all right? It's going to be completely desert. This is going to be the only desert in the kingdom, man. Right, America.
It reads, the earth mourneth and fadeth away.
This is the last one. I'm going to let the next one come up.
It reads, the world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof.
Planet Earth is defiled. The planet Earth is even shrunken. All right, the scriptures tell you about it. The same way we lost our stature, the same thing with the earth, man. It's just gotten weaker and weaker over time. All right, because the earth got a spirit too. You know, and it's praying to the Heavenly Father that, you know, Lord, cleanse me of this virus, so-called white man.
The earth is alive.
The earth is alive. It's fucking
The earth got a spirit of glow.
right. Exactly.
You see and then you look at part of the dimmer light, the brighter light, the ozone. They call it the twilight. ESO call it the international dateline. And the list go on. I don't want to keep
Nah,
blabbering.
you're right.
Look.
Basically, what this brother is saying is, you look up and you see the daytime.
Yeah.
The earth don't need the sun for that.
Nope.
It got its own light, man.
That's right.
I'm saying because this was around before the sun.
It's
You know.
If you in the midst on a certain part on the ship in the international dayline, you can see night and day at the same time,
You can see the moon right where
and it won't change.
right where the sun is at. You can see the moon. You ever seen that?
Yeah.
You driving
Yeah.
on the sunset, you see the moon right there, and the sun is right
You know,
there.
like I said, bro, this whole shit about the sun being billions of miles away, who even knows, man? Esau said that, but we don't know that shit. To me, the shit look local. Not the shit. The sun look local to me, man. It don't look like it's billions.
It
and
might
billions
not be as far as they say.
You know?
It's a distance, but not what they say. Esau's a
Esau
liar.
said a lot
Yeah,
of
because
shit.
they can't get to, like, going to the Van Allen belt,
Yeah.
you know, the radiation.
They never went above the Van Allen book because they were
Exactly.
fucking disintegrating.
My whole thing too is like, where you get that number from? What the fuck did you send to the sun to get that number? You know what I'm saying?
And the earth it's not even, it's no more than 14,000 years old, man.
And the moon is not that far either, because I got a camera that could go to, I forgot how to do it. I could do the 50 times zoom. It goes to 100 times zoom, but I forgot how to get it to the 100 times zoom. I don't edit no more. So I could see the craters. I could zoom in and see the craters and see the heat around it.
My landlord bought a scope, and this shit is phenomenal. He showed me, I was like, yo, what the fuck? You can see a lot of shit. You know, that shit bugged me up, bro. I was like, yo, I was amazed. He was like, check this out. So I looked at it, he had a big ass telescope right there. I looked, yo, the moon, you can see, I seen, like, he said they were shooting stars. That was no shooting stars. Those were chariots, man. He just don't understand, you know? But you can see, I was like, I was bugging. I was amazed, like, yo.
You know, when you go to certain places like Florida, where, you know, fuck New York, you can't even see the stars at night. But you go to places where where it's not covered by the smog and pollution,
You know it.
you see all types of shooting stars, chariots.
They say shooting stars, but it could be chariots.
Yeah, either one. You're a chariot shooter. But the Lord pretty much made the sky like an artwork. You know, you're supposed to look up, you're supposed to be like a glorious little artwork, man. Hey, Job talked about the different constellations he saw, you know?
And that was fascinating when I seen that telescope. That was fascinating, man. I saw the moon and the craters and how it was like a brick bright. I was like, yo, this shit is bright as hell, man. Because you can adjust it though. But I wanted to go closer. You know what I mean? You seen craters. And I didn't see no, I was looking for an American flag. I ain't seen no flag on that motherfucker.
One more thing too. When you zoom in on it, you can see the brighter and dimmer light on the moon. Like you could see it depending on the moon phase of the month.
This is like a,
You could tell. We know it ain't. The moon don't get that light from the sun, but you could zoom in and see that it's a brighter and a dimmer light
That's all that
on
is.
there.
That's
You
all
know what I
that
mean?
That's right. You go into the creation, and it tells you the Lord, before the sun or the moon was created, the lesser light and the greater light, the earth gave off its own aura. You know, so that just tells that right there.
Exactly, brother. And the script, when you read on Ezra, the scriptures tell you about the course of the sun. The sun is the one doing the running, man. The earth is standing still. The earth is stationary, man.
Right, they're stationary.
The earth is stationary.
Yeah.
The scriptures tell you don't
Hang up
move.
the earth upon nothing.
And he hangs the earth upon nothing. So this whole thing about the sun this and the sun is far as hell and this talk, man.
That's
Look, man,
bullshit.
that's all just sun worship and shit,
For
man.
science, what's that?
Everything's revolving around the sun. That's all bullshit, man. All right, that's all bullshit. The earth is the center. The earth is the star to show.
the earth moves around. It goes in a circle.
No, the sun. The sun rotates around the earth.
The sun is the one that's rotating around the earth.
Okay.
Because the sun just what is the earth hangs in the balance or something like that.
And somebody, you know what? Since we're talking about it, go to Ezra. Search Ezra and look. Just type in sun. That's like Ezra, the 4th chapter. First Ezra is the 4th chapter.
Circles of heaven. You know what I'm saying? What is it
No,
again?
it tells you how it runs its course.
Yeah.
And the course is a circle.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, I got
orbit.
it.
Go ahead.
This is First Ezra, chapter 4, verse 34. It reads, "O ye men, are not women strong? Great is the earth, high is the heaven. Swift is the sun in his course."
Right, swift is the sun in its course. Why? Because the sun runs around the planet Earth in 24 hours. So this is massive ball that's eating up. Another thing too, like again, just critical thinking. So if the sun is how Esau describes it, how come space is so dark? Like why did if it's giving up all this light, it's the light of the universe apparently. How come it's dark and shit? So it's telling you that the sun is the one running. Yes, the sun does give off a light, but the earth has its own light.
Yes.
That's why sometimes they say, that's why you see this, the sun is really the color of white. That's why sometimes you see it being a yellow. Because it's going into like, what you said, the earth got its own color. Because basically the sun, the thing that we see is illuminated, so it looks like it's yellow, but it's really white. You know what I'm saying?
That's heavy.
Yeah.
But there's a lot we're gonna truly understand and know. Because the so-called white man is a fucking devil and everything he tells you is a lie, so you can't. Well, he mixes truth with lies, so you don't even really just confuse you. But the best thing to do is fall back on the scriptures, man. The scriptures tell me the earth is stationary and the sun is spinning.
Exactly.
And the sun is not spinning. I'm sorry, the sun is running around the earth. That's what I'm going with, man.
Yeah.
Because the Lord, believe the Most High. These men are liars, man.
So we're going to go back to the structure. I got one more scripture for you. And you
Go ahead,
gotta
go ahead, bro.
This is the Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 14. That day, the great day of the Lord is near. It is near and haste of greatly.
Yeah, that great day of the Lord is when I'm talking about Yahweh shall crack the skies. All right? The scriptures in Amos tell you it's a dark day. Because it's going to literally be, the Lord is going to blot out the sun with that massive chariot.
He's going to say the same thing.
Go ahead.
It says, this is back in Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 14. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near and haste of greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty man shall cry their bitterly. The voice of the Lord is his prophets. It says, that day is a day of wrath. It says, that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble, a distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess.
It's not gonna, so the chariots are gonna blot out the sun, all right? It's not gonna be knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. The nuclear mushroom clouds are gonna blot out the sun.
It says,
Complete darkness.
a day of clouds and thick darkness.
See? Clouds and chariots,
It says, verse
mushroom clouds, no knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
Verse 16, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers.
The prophets are blowing the trumpet now, and then you're gonna have them. But you're gonna have stupid motherfuckers running. Where you running to? Where are you running to? Your only thing
Where
is
you
like,
going?
am I gonna be delivered or not? You know what I mean? You can't. It's nowhere to run. This is the hot zone. I'm sorry.
You can't run.
There's
you
no.
can't
It's not.
hide.
There's nowhere to hide.
Well, what Michael said. It's too low to get too high to get over. Too low to get under. Saying you're gonna catch 22 when the chariots come. Cause what you gonna do?
Hey, it turns out in Venezuela, before those earthquakes hit, there was actually a 23-minute warning that no one took heed to because they didn't believe it.
Wow. Yeah, there was a 7.2 and a 7.5, two back to back.
Yeah.
Over 50,000 dead and mad people missing.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
That could have been Hawk.
Nah, that's another word getting out now too. It could have been all.
Because of the fact that
They're trying to get something.
yeah, they want to take over they want the complete control of the oil fields.
That's what I said. They're trying to get something.
Yeah.
So they said 50,000 dead and multiple people missing.
That's a lot of people, man.
50,000? That's no. That wasn't more than Turkey when Turkey had that earthquake?
Not too sure about
Turkey was devastating too, man.
Alright.
Alright, so shut them up.
Hey.
Let this brother speak.
I'm looking at that. That's safe.
You guys do all go to YouTube. You should
Isaiah 47? Okay.
So right there.
Yeah, man, because we going into ultimately the destruction of America. All right, we're going into the end. All right, of Esau's kingdom, okay? Because this kingdom is a wicked kingdom, all right? And day by day, slowly but surely, the Lord is bringing this place down, man, all right? First by what? You know, the prophets, you know, coming out here, breaking down the strongholds, man, all right, of the society, okay?
I said, chapter 47, verse 7.
Yep.
It says, I get the 47
Verse 1.
All right. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon.
Here it says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin of Babylon.
Virgin daughter of Babylon.
Virgin daughter of Babylon. All right, and it's twofold, all right? Because this is going into the complete, you know, destruction. When it says the dust, going to the complete destruction that America is going to go through.
Now, dust represents confusion.
Yeah. I was going to go get into that. You know, as well as, you know, the dust also represents confusion because this is a confused place. When you read the book of Isaiah, the 24th chapter, it says the city of confusion is broken down. And that's talking about here in America, man. Now it says, read it again.
It says, Isaiah chapter 47, verse 1.
Yep.
Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter
It says
of Babylon.
virgin daughter of Babylon. All right. Now that virgin daughter of Babylon, what does that mean? It's talking about America not being touched. All right. You know, because no major wars has happened here in the land of America. All right. So this place is considered to be a virgin.
Well, it wasn't no major wars, but a major war did happen in America. If you go back to, it's talking about before America was established, going to the Revolutionary War, where you had the Dutch, the British, and the French here, you know, and France here, and America had to fight them to get them, you know,
to get its independence.
So, and then also to take over and kick them out, because you had the Dutch, the Spaniards, and the French here. That's how, you know, and that's how the Creoles came about. You know, in New Orleans, they had control of New Orleans, so they had to get them out of here so they could have their lands to themselves. Also, a major war took place in the 1800s. It's called a Civil War.
Yeah.
But no other former nation since then.
No.
Since America has been established as America, because it was the colonies then.
Yeah.
It wasn't called America. It was the colonies. Once America got established itself as America, then he became a virgin, because no foreign nation came over here and invaded this land.
Right.
That's Great Britain. Yeah, you got it back, bro.
Go ahead. Keep going.
So it says, sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans.
It says, sit on the ground, there's no throne. Because what? Yahweh Shai, he's going to bring down, all right, this wicked kingdom, Esau, man. Esau is not going to be no more in rulership. You're not going to be no more in power, okay? So this throne is going to be brought down. Just like, you know, back then with Rome and the other kingdoms and the empires, man. All right? Go ahead.
It says, O daughter of the Chaldeans.
Yep, O daughter of the Chaldeans. And we know that's talking about America. All right? Because America, what? Promotes witchcraft through its social media, through its philosophies, okay? Through its music, all right? Through its food, okay? This place is known as witchcraft, man. All right, and it has a heavy influence on the other nations, man. Okay, that's why the scriptures speak about how these other nations, they're drunken of the wine of America's philosophies. Go ahead.
What's some of those? What's some of that wine? Democracy, capitalism.
Yep.
Capitalism is free enterprise, right? That democracy and capitalism go hand in hand.
Yeah.
That's that wine, because everybody's on grind mode here, meaning they think they could obtain generational wealth and all that. You got it.
Yeah.
The modern day Chaldeans is the Council of 13. And who brought that out? John Todd brought that out. He was a part of that Council of 13. The witches and warlocks that the Rothschilds go to for counsel.
Did they kill him?
Yeah, they killed him because he was bringing out a lot of shit. And now in ancient Babylon, the Chaldeans was the spiritual advisors of the Babylonian kings.
Yeah.
So modern day Babylon, they call them that. They don't call them Chaldea, but the Bible still call them Chaldea. They call them the Council of 13. You know, a witch coven.
Same
so to speak.
agenda, just different names. Just switching names.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It says it says, for thou shalt be no more called tender and delicate.
You're not gonna be called tender and delicate no more. Okay? Because everybody looks at America as tender and delicate. Everybody wants to. This is the land that everybody wants to come to. That's why you in America is a multitude of different nations here, man. Seeking to have financial freedom. Okay, seeking to be free. All right, everybody looks at America as that golden cup.
That
right?
opportunity that
Yeah.
they ain't having in other lands. in
Yeah,
other
yeah.
countries.
Yep. That's why when you go to the Caribbean islands, you know, when you say, you know, they call you a Yankee or American because, you know, this guy's American. You know, he think he all good and better than us. That's how they look at him as Americans. They look at people from America as if they're better than them. All right, that's that. You know how the standard, that high standard of how America is being presented. They're being presented as that high standard to these other nations.
And when they come over here, they see that shit is not all gold. The streets ain't paved with gold. The land ain't, you know, the streets ain't paved with gold and concrete ain't paved with silver.
Yeah,
They see that and they say, okay, I was told a lot.
yeah.
I was bamboozled.
And that's why it goes into it, because it goes into like they're going to see the corruption here in America, man.
If I can add real quick on, you have some people in America that's struggling more than other people in the islands, man.
Yeah.
It's not on a large scale, but it's happening, you know?
Yeah. Mostly everybody, so-called middle class, live with paycheck to paycheck. You may have some money in the bank, but if a crisis hit, that shit gonna go to waste. You gonna be, because it tell you the scriptures, our pockets have holes.
Yeah.
Our bank account, so you can save a little money next you know your car break down.
Yeah,
or another emergency happen, you gotta spend that shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you live in paycheck to paycheck, even though you can have $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, probably $10,000 in the bank. But
Well,
that
you could get some type of fine or something.
that shit can go quick.
10,000.
Yes.
You
That shit can
could
go
just
quick, bro.
delete it too.
Oh yeah, but basically, if they don't delete it, if you got $10,000 in the bank, you got a bank, and then you got a job, you think you're doing good. But if a crisis comes, you lose your job, you're gonna have to rely on that money.
And that's the thing too. $10,000 is
That's
not
ain't nothing, man.
It's nothing how it was 20 years ago. Because the cost of living now is at an all-time high. It's very high. Not an all-time high, but it's at a high. It's at
20
a,
years
it's
ago,
at a
you
peak.
talking about- that's 2,000. That shit was
Yeah.
still high. You gotta go back 40 years, man.
Yeah.
40, you gotta go back to the 80s. $10,000 in the 80s was a lot of money, man.
Rich.
In the 80s, you can get a down payment on a BMW. How think all them drug dealers was doing that shit? Riding around in BMWs and Mercedes Benzes, with a down payment that's $5,000.
Yeah.
Or probably $3,000, man. Because the price of living was different.
Yeah. Yeah. Food was more cheap.
Shit, I remember back in the 90s, you could spend $100 and have 4 or 5 bags. Now, $100, you got 2 bags.
Yeah, yeah.
Or if that.
If that, yeah. If that, you get a couple eggs, you're done. You're finished.
Yo, I don't get eggs from the supermarket, but I get eggs from my job. But
Yeah.
you get some meats. If I can't get the meats from my job, you go to Aldi's, you're gonna save a little buck, but
I remember going to the meat market, going to get the meat plan or whatever.
That shit
Money was low. Get the quarter legs for $20 last week.
Yeah.
7 days.
25
What?
cents.
not no
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
Not no
And
more.
to get a juice, a little.
But that's
Right.
inflation. And what's in the Bible? Revelation 6 and 4.
Con.
Yeah.
You
So
get
it says
that
back
too.
in Isaiah chapter 47 verse 2.
Yep.
Take the millstone and grind mill.
Here it says, now take the millstone and grind mill, because we just read it said, it's not going to be called tender and delicate. Now, in ancient times, grinding mill was represented a hard labor. That was one of the hardest tasks to do in ancient times, in ancient Israel times. And a woman did it. That's why it's being called, compared to a woman, because that was a role for a woman to do, was to grind a mill, which was a tedious, hardcore labor job. And that's exactly what America's going to go to. All right? It's not going to be called tender and delicate. Y'all going to go into, straight to hardcore slavery, man. All right? And y'all going to serve what? The Israelites. All right? Which is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans.
It says take the mill, uncover the locks.
It says take the mill, uncover the locks. Now, this is going into what? America being exposed. For what all its wicked ways, for its corruption, child trafficking, its extortion, all right,
Epstein files.
the Epstein files, how basically America, you know, got a lot of its riches through slavery, also through the opium trade. All right, you had a lot of these families, all right, rich families getting rich through opium trade with China. All right, and that's how exactly how a lot.
It was called the opium wars. They drugged out China, had them all, you know, they took over the drug trade because the international bankers started with the Rothschilds. The Rothschilds was the heads of it, right along with the Oppenheimers.
Yep.
They was over there dealing with them drug dealers over there, and they was stealing all kind of opium. Then what they did was to take over the opium trade, to take over the opium money market. They started putting, like they did in the 80s during the crack war, putting drugs in the community.
Yeah.
Having people get strung out.
Yeah.
But they weaken, and that's what
Put a prohibition on it, tougher sentences, you make presents, and then you mark up the price.
like they did with the liquor.
Yeah.
Now, Joseph P. Kennedy, the Kennedy's father, the patriarch of the Kennedys, Joseph P. Kennedy was a bootlegger and a gangster and a murderer. And at the same time, he was the ambassador to Amsterdam.
And guess what? And it goes over people's heads because it's a point. I don't mean to blah, but in New Jack City, Nino at the table in the beginning of the movie, he said just the words. He said it like the words of Joe Kennedy, and the other man was like, who? And Nino, no. The dude from the bank said like Joe Kennedy, and Nino knew what he was talking about, but the other man didn't. And Nino looked at him like, yo, you must be, but you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And he mentioned Joe Kennedy because of the bootlegging in LA.
Joseph P. Kennedy was a goddamn gangster and a bootlegger.
Yeah.
And that's how the Kennedys got rich. And why do that they killed that's how they killed off the Kennedys? Sam J. and Connor, because they put Kennedy, the mob, and the international bankers put Kennedy in office so they could start that war to bring heroin over here in America.
Yeah.
But what Kennedy did, Kennedy was like, nah, I'm not with that. He started exposing the conspiracies and everything. And what happened was after that, is we gotta get rid of this nigga, man. They whacked him out. Here it is, your father was a part of us, and we got you in the power. Here it is, you trying to become a good nigga.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't
But
do
that
that,
shows-
yo. No one's look, they gotta be in order. Just like we gotta be in order on the left hand side, they gotta be in order. It ain't no they could go off and you wanna do this and you wanna do that. Everybody gotta follow.
Hey, somebody look up Sam J. and Connor and the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Sam J. and Connor was a mafia boss in Florida. If I'm not mistaken, not Florida, I think it was Chicago.
Let's bring out a little more scriptures.
Come on, so it says
Read it again.
A lot of traffic.
It says Isaiah chapter 47 verse 2.
Yep.
Take the millstone and grind the mill, uncover the locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thighs, pass over the rivers.
Yeah, and this is going into the, how America is being exposed, and the brothers, the elders, they going into it. You know what I'm saying? And how corrupt and wicked America is. Okay, but he just named a lot of examples how America is being exposed for its wickedness. We through its extortion, is the elder just brought out through bootlegging. Okay. Through many different things, man. The Epstein files, child trafficking, all right, it's draconian laws, okay? America is being exposed, man, as well as America is being exposed for being, nowadays, for its military being a little weakened. It's being exposed through the war in Iran, man. How America is really not that big, almighty power, man. How it claims to be, okay? Go ahead.
It says verse 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered.
Yeah, thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Like I mentioned before, it's going into them being exposed. Okay? And and day by day, month by month, week by week, year by year, man, America's being exposed, every day, man.
That's right.
You
It
know?
says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen.
Yeah, that shame is going to be seen, man.
The shame of slavery,
Yep.
everything you have done in the past, all these nations talk about that. The president of Moab, Jinping, whatever his name is, talk about how you try to bring out you know, how you said it was about humanitarian crisis, you know what I'm saying, in these different countries, but what you did to the blacks and the Hispanics and Native Americans.
Yeah.
Your own, so it was bringing out shame. Not only him,
Russia yeah.
brought out the icons. He brought out the icons, you know, the black icons of, you know, he brought that out to shame Israel, you know, and you can still find that online. Also, what's his name again? No More Gaddafi brought it out. That's why they whacked him. He's wearing his ass out, and a lot of and a bunch of other former presidents and dictators and prime ministers brought out certain things of all the atrocities that America has done. That's a shame of America.
Yeah, as well as even what they did to the nation of God, man. How did America, you know, become this great, powerful nation? Okay, you know, through mass basically committing genocide to the nation of God, man.
That's right.
All right, to those different, you know, the indigenous tribes here in America, man. Okay.
Says, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance and will not meet thee as a man.
Yeah, it says I would take vengeance and not meet thee as a man. This is talking about Yahweh Shah, our Lord and Savior. Okay, he's going to take vengeance, all right, for the elect, for the nation of Israel, all right, which is the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, it says that he's not going to come and meet thee as a man, all right, because Yahweh Shah, he's coming in an angelic form, all right. He's not coming on the scene as a man. All right, he's not coming in the scene like, you know, ordinary person. Now he's coming in that angelic force. Okay, and real quick, you get Matthew 10 and 34.
That was it right here. You want to keep on going?
Now you can keep going. You know, get Matthew 10 and 34 real quick, because now a lot of Christians, you know, thinks Yahweh Shah, you know, he's coming, you know, to save everybody. All right, and he's coming with, you know, flowers and it's gonna be all smiles, but the scriptures say otherwise.
Gifts.
Yep.
This is Matthew 10 and 34, and this is Yahweh Shah speaking himself.
Yep.
He says, think not that I come to send peace on earth. I come not to send peace, but a sword.
It says, think not that I come to send peace on the earth, but he's coming with a sword. So that right there cuts, you know, that, you know, the philosophies of the Christians, man. All right, Yahweh Shah, he's coming with, you know, with those, you know, angelic beings, man. He's coming with the angels, all right, the archangels, all right, and he's coming with, you know, with mass destruction, okay? He's coming with those chariots of fire, man, to bring vengeance upon here, you know, towards Esau, man. All right, because Esau right now, he is the one that's currently ruling the earth. That's why pursuing the Job 9 and 24, it says the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. So Yahweh Shah is coming back, all right, to take vengeance, man, okay? To redeem, and also to redeem and save his elect, okay? Because his elect is out here sighing and crying for the return of Yahweh Shah, man. So we could have a new kingdom, a refreshed kingdom, man. Which that kingdom is going to be, you know, in order. Okay? You know? You can go back to Isaiah 47.
Right. Revelations 1 and 7.
Yep.
Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him.
Yes, it says he coming with clouds. And what those clouds are referring to, all right? Those clouds are referring to, all right, those chariots. Okay, you could get Isaiah 31 and 5, all right? Because that's the form of Yahweh Shah where he's going to return. He's coming in the chariots. When you read the book of Ezra, it goes, Ezra, when he's seen, you know, Yahweh Shah returning, he said those chariots, you know, was like a mountain that covered the earth. So he's coming in that, you know, that gigantic chariot, man.
He's coming in his glory.
Yep, he's coming in his full glory. Go ahead.
And they also which pierced him.
Yeah, then they also which pierced him. Now, in ancient times, well, back then, 2,000 years ago, that's going into the Romans, okay, as well as those who, you know, are his own people too. You know, because his own people, you know, were telling the Romans, all right, to persecute Yahweh Shah. Because they didn't believe that he was the son of the Most High, okay? But that's why the scriptures say that Yahweh Shah, he was a stumbling stone unto the Jews. Okay, because they believed that Yahweh Shah was supposed to come when he was on the scene as an angelic being. You know, they was looking for a conquering king in those times. When they seen that was Yahweh Shah, they was like, oh, that's Yahweh Shah? You know, Joseph's son? The carpenter, the stonemason, him? That's not our Lord and Savior. That's not the King of the Jews. Okay? So Yahweh Shah, those same spirits are back here today. Those are the ones that scoffed and mocked
Prophet
You know?
is not without honor. in
Yep.
his work.
His own city. That's
right.
right. You know, so Yahweh Shah remembers all those who, you know, went against him. Okay? Go ahead.
And all kindreds of the earth shall will because of him.
Yeah, all kindred, you know, all the different nations, all right, all the people, they're gonna wail because of him, man. So when Yahweh Shah comes, they're gonna be scared. You know, they're gonna be like, what the fuck? Oh, you know, they're gonna be actually amazed that he's coming through in clouds. Because
I'm afraid.
Yeah.
That defies all of Esau's logic.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, because that right there, in that day, a lot of people are going to be terrified, man. Because now they're going to know that the prophets of Yahweh Bashmiel Shah, they were right. That we wasn't just conspiracy theorists, that we wasn't extremists. All right? They're going to be scared, and they're going to be scared because he's going to come through in his full glory, man. And anger, too. All right? Go ahead.
It says, even so, amen. That was it.
Yep.
Yep.
Continue.
Isaiah 47:4.
Yep.
As for our Redeemer,
Hold on, Salaki, real quick. Yeah, bring that out.
Isaiah 31:5.
Yep.
As birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem.
Yeah, it says, as birds flying, so is the Lord of hosts will defend Jerusalem. Because Yahweh Shah, he's coming in those chariots. That's why it says it's birds flying. Because where do birds fly at? They fly in the clouds. They fly in the air. And that's exactly how Yahweh Shah is going to come. And the brother just basically brought that out, you know, in Revelation, the 1st chapter. You know, he's going to come in clouds. But he's coming in clouds to also defend, all right, Jerusalem. Which Jerusalem is talking about people, all right? The Israelites, because Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. Okay? So, but ultimately, he's coming to defend the elect of the nation of Israel. All right? Because the 2/3 of the nation of Israel, all right, is going to be put to death. All right? The scriptures speak about how the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. So a lot of 2/3 of the nation of Israel is going to be put to death, man. But the Lord is going to defend the elect of the nation of Israel. Go ahead.
It says, defending also, he will deliver it.
He will deliver it, meaning what? The elect are going to receive salvation. They're going to be beamed up into those chariots, man. Yep. While those missiles is flying here in America, all right, in the different parts of the world, as well as the chariots, you know, Yahweh Shah, you know, shooting those chariots, all right? They're going to also have people being delivered, man. The elect being delivered when those missiles and the chariots of fire hit here in America. You're going to have the elect being delivered and beamed up into the chariots. Go ahead.
It says, and passing over, he will preserve it.
Yeah, and passing over, he will preserve it, meaning what? It's talking about his elect. He's going to preserve his elect, all right, to be delivered. Okay? That was the point. You can go back to Isaiah 47.
all right, this is Isaiah 47:4. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel.
Yep. Continue.
All right, sit down silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans.
Yeah, it says, sit down and silent, all right, O daughter of the Chaldeans. Because ultimately, Yahweh Shah, he's going to bring down forth this wicked empire, man. And y'all going to be in complete silence. All the wisdom of this place is going to be brought down, all right? You know, Esau, the elites are not going to be able to search out his astrologers, you know, his wise people to, you know, give them the breakdowns of what's going to happen. This place is going to be utterly destroyed, all right? His wisdom is going to perish, okay? The wisdom of the left-hand side I'm talking about. Go ahead.
Yeah. For thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms.
You ain't going to be called the Lady of Kingdoms no more, man. You know, that delicacy, that tenderness is going to be stripped away from you, man. All right? You're going to be a lost widow, man. You know?
Be royal.
Yeah.
You know how you see Game of Thrones, my lady.
Yeah, because that just shows you, too, that America is at that #1 seat. All right? And no other nation, too, man. Let's cut that, too. That theory that once America is brought down, another nations are going to rule after America. You know, they say China's going to rule, or Russia, or North Korea. All these countries are advanced in technology. They're saying that they're going to basically, when America's through, they're going to basically be the ones that's ruling in power. But that's incorrect. Yeah. All right? It's going to be a new kingdom with Yahweh Shah, you know, running that kingdom, man, and the elect, or the people of Israel, man. Go ahead.
If I can add what you're saying, one thing that people know is that the kingdom of America, will fall. Just like how you're going into these other nations think they're going to rule next, but everybody still knows the kingdom of America, Babylon, is going to fall.
Yeah. And two, remember this is I believe July 4th marks the 250 year.
Next Saturday.
Yep, next Saturday, the 250 year of America being independent. Now, when I brought it out earlier in the main camp that they say the average of a kingdom lasting is from 200 years to 330 years. But when you look into like scholars go into it, like with the Assyrian Empire, they only lasted for 250 years. So we hitting that breaking period, man. All right. Even though the scriptures say we don't know the time or a day when Yahweh Shah is going to return, but we know we living in those days, those times. Go ahead.
I was wroth for my people.
Yeah, it says the Lord said He was wroth for His people. Meaning what? The Lord was angry. All right, at His people. Who's the Lord's people? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, the Lord was angry with us. Why? Get that real quick in Baruch 4. I believe that's 4 and 6. Hold that real quick. All right, because people don't understand why we in the condition that we're in. This is why a lot of people don't believe in the Lord. All right, or believe in the Bible. All right, because our people, when you look at our people as a whole, we living in harsh conditions, man. Our people are strung on drugs. Our people live in low housing income. All right, our people, eat the lowest quality of foods. All right, mostly Jake work minimum wage jobs. Okay, most Jakes is what, locked up in prison, man, or being shot and killed in the streets. Okay, we living in harsh conditions, man, as a so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American man and woman.
You want 4 and 6, you said?
You can start from verse 5.
This is Baruch 4, verse 5.
Yup.
Be of good cheer, my people, the memorial of Israel.
Yep, go ahead.
Verse 6. Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved the power to wrath.
Yeah, you moved the Lord to wrath. That's the reason why we were sold into the other nations. All right, look at each captivity that we was in. We was in captivity. It started with the Northern Kingdom. They fell to the Assyrian Empire. All right, and then what? Several years, 100 years later, the Southern Kingdom fell to the Babylonians. All right, and it kept going. The Greeks. All right, after Alexander the Great ruled, and then the kingdom was divided into his 4 generals. Seleucus ran a harsh draconian system on the nation of Israel. All while because of what? We provoked the Lord to anger.
It goes into that.
Yep, go ahead, bro.
Continuing verse 6, it says, ye were delivered unto the enemies.
Yeah, we was delivered into our enemies. All right, which the scriptures already tells you who our enemies are, pursuing what's it? In Psalms the 83rd chapter. All right, Esau, Ishmael, Moab, Ammon. All right, the Hamites. All these nations are our enemies, man, and we was delivered unto them. Even the so-called white man, we was delivered unto the so-called white man's hands. All right, that's how a lot of Israelites are here in America. Okay, through the transatlantic slave trade. Go ahead.
Verse 7.
Yep.
For ye provoked him
Yep.
that made you by sacrificing unto devils.
Yeah, you provoke the Lord. When you provoking somebody, it's like you daring them to go into the word provoke real quick, Bubba Kushad. You could Google it, what does provoke mean, provoke definition.
That's for
Real quick.
provoke definition.
Because this is what the nation of Israel did, man, to the Lord. All right, and remember, the scriptures say that, the Lord is a jealous power.
Provoke.
All right? So these were the repercussions, all right, that we faced.
It
Go
says,
ahead.
verb, stimulating or give rise. It says a reaction or emotion. Typically a strong or unwelcoming one in someone. The decision to provoke a storm of protest from, basically.
Yep.
It's just saying, arouse, produce,
Yep.
cause, give rise.
Yep. So we cause that emotion, a jealousy emotion towards the Lord, man, and that's the reason why He delivered the nation of Israel to our enemies, because we provoked them by what? So by sacrificing. Go ahead. It's gonna say
It says, For ye have provoked him
Yep.
that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not unto the power.
They were sacrificing unto devils and not unto the Lord, man. Meaning what? In ancient times, all right, instead of sacrificing unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, they were sacrificing unto Molech, to Balaam, to Baal.
They still doing that to this day. To Baal and Moloch. They still doing this to this day.
Yeah. Yeah.
You had this woman on TikTok, not to cut you off, but it's not there. You had this woman on TikTok, she was saying, before she found out, she said in her 20s, she was running the streets and she had 8 abortions. She had 8 abortions. And when she ran across the Hebrew Israelites, she met a man that's a Hebrew Israelite. He was teaching her the truth, and she found out that she was sacrificing her kids to Molech, to an ancient deity called Molech, and she begged the Lord for forgiveness. But you was in your ignorance, so the Most High wink at that. But if you do it again, you on your own.
Yeah.
You was in your 20s and you was doing that, you didn't know. And it is what it is. The Most High winked at you because you winked at that. But now that you found out and you know, if you go up and do that shit again, now the Most High gonna judge your ass.
Yeah. And even too, when you go into the scriptures back in ancient times, you had something called the Valley of Hinnom, where backing you up, where a lot of people used to child sacrifice unto Molech. It was called the Valley of Hinnom. That's where they burnt a lot of bodies. That's where you get that term hell from. You know what I'm saying?
Gehenna.
Gehenna. It goes hands in hand. Hinnom and Gehenna go hand in hand. Go ahead.
Verse 8.
Yeah, so the point is, Israel, there was worshiping, idols, man. Back, all the way back in Egypt, they was doing that, and all throughout the Bible, man. You seen our people always worshiping idols, man, and wanted to follow the ways of the heathen. That was the thing that Israel did. They didn't want to, follow the ways of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. That's why even right now you see a lot of people, they follow the ways of Greek, that Greek lifestyle. Always coming outside, basically naked, got their shirt off, wearing super shorts. The woman wearing no clothes. You know what I'm saying?
When you go to the gym, you see these women in there half naked. Then you look at them, they go to the front desk and try to shame you.
Yeah.
And then or film you and call you a creep, put you all over blast you all over the internet, calling you a creep. You know what I mean? So you gotta watch how you move in these gyms now, because these women, they cost a lot of men to. That's why these gyms are losing money, because a lot of men are not going to the gym no more. They're getting their own gym.
That's why anytime I see a woman in the gym struggling with the weight, I just leave them. I don't even look their way. I let the weight crush them. It's none of my business. I don't care.
That's right, because they're ashamed you. You would help them, they'll get up and go back to the front desk and report you and say that you made them feel uncomfortable.
While they dress half naked. I said people don't realize women are the actual biggest perverts, man. Women are perverts. They literally walk around naked,
Check
man.
it out. And now you said that, right? I remember this chick, she had her butt cheeks hanging out, some Spanish shit. And I was walking, she was walking my way, so she looked at me, and she looked at me, and I looked at her, so I turned around and looked. She said, you fucking pervert. I said, I ain't the pervert. Look, I'm fully dressed. You the pervert, you got on white spandex with black panties, and your butt cheeks hanging out. Who's the pervert? She just put her hand up like this to me. I said, okay, but I'm telling you the truth. Who's the pervert? You got on white spandex, short white spandex with black panties on, with your butt cheeks hanging out. And I can see your camel toe. Who is the pervert?
They got get the precepts.
Yep.
She was tight.
It's almost that time.
Continuing, Baruch 4:8, it says, ye have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you.
Yeah, man, you forgot that the power of the Lord, man. All right, he brought us up, man. He delivered us, from Pharaoh in the time when we was in Egypt. Okay.
All throughout the book of Judges, he delivers.
Yeah, the Lord always showed his great power towards Israel, man. But what we did, we went on still after the Lord have done those wonderful works. We still went off, man, willingly though. Our people were willingly happy to serve idols, man, even unto this very day.
Have the nations forgotten their gods?
Yep. A lot of Jake, they worship money. You know, they're all into different philosophies. You know, they're into all different religions. Okay, those same spirits back then are here today, man. All right, and now this time around, the Lord is going to judge you through what? Putting you to death, man. Go ahead.
This is Jeremiah 51. I'm gonna start from verse. I'm gonna start from verse 5. For Israel had not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power, of the Lord of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. It says, flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity.
Yeah, so flee from the midst of Babylon, meaning what? Put off, you know, don't follow the ways and customs of America. Now that's talking about America. Even in the times of back then with Jeremiah, you know, he was telling the people to flee from the ways and customs of those Babylonians, man. Because, you know, Israel always was following after the ways of the heathen. Okay? So the same thing now. Maybe we have to flee from the midst of Babylon. Okay? You know, spiritually. Okay? We have to depart from this place, man. All right? We're not supposed to be, that's why it says that the cares of the world choke thee. Okay? We're not supposed to, you know, love this world. We're not supposed to be following after ways and the ideologies of this world, man, because it's all contrary to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay? Go ahead. Read it again. Flee from the midst.
Jeremiah 51:6. It says, flee out the midst of Babylon. And deliver every man his soul.
Yeah, and that's also we're going to be delivered in those chariots, man. You know? Go ahead.
It says, be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time that the Lord's vengeance, he will render unto her a recompense.
Yeah, a recompense, meaning the Lord is going to have mercy, okay, unto his elect, man, to the nation of Israel, okay? You know, so we're supposed to flee from the midst of Babylon and not get caught up in his iniquities, man. All right, when you go into the word iniquity, that's sin upon sin. Because the Lord is coming with that harsh and great judgment, man. Okay? Go ahead.
It says, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand.
Yeah, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. You know, this place, like we brought out earlier, you know, this place is, you know, looked at as tender and delicate. Okay? It's looked at as a royal, you know, fine place. Okay? Go ahead.
It says, that made all the earth drunken.
It says made all the earth drunken, meaning what? All the other nations is drunken with the wine of Babylon, man, with the philosophies of America, through its democracy, its Christianity, okay, through its politics, all right, through its, you know, its customs,
credit, business,
all that. You know, you got other nations wearing, you know, suits and ties, man.
Maritime laws, the laws of the sea, you know.
Yeah.
How they took over, how they did that. They say that the Strait of Hormuz is international waters, but that shit is owned by that shit is controlled by Iran and by it's another country. It starts with a B. That they control. It's like one side, so they doing business with each other. So the Strait of Hormuz is not international waters. That's controlled always by Iran. And they making money now. They set up a toll. Yeah, brother.
It says, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine.
Yes, so the nations have been drunken of her wine, man. Meaning they got dazed out by the philosophies, all right, of America, man. You know, they became drunk. You know, just like how you drink wine and you overly drink and you start, you know, losing balance. Yeah, that's exactly what America did to these other nations, man.
They got hangover.
That's why a lot of these nations would have pride too, because they took that philosophy from America, man. All right, they all got that prideful spirit like America. Go ahead.
It says, therefore the nations are mad.
Now they're angry. You know.
They got that headache.
You know. Yeah, exactly. Now they mad, man. You know. Because America makes, you know, all different treaties with these nations too and break them, you know? So these nations is mad at America. That's why the scriptures also say what the beast hateth the whore. Okay? Go ahead.
It's just like when you're waking up drunk, you're like, fuck, why'd I do that?
Yeah,
I can't believe I did that shit.
Yeah,
Because now you starting to, get up out of that drunkenness, but it's too late.
You got a headache, you still dizzy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, damn.
Yeah.
You just want to lay back down.
Yeah, because that's it's a spirit how you say that because these nations they laid in bed with America, so that's like you waking up after a drunk night with a random chick, and
She's
you like
fat
what
and
the
nasty.
you like what the fuck, man? Fuck.
Fat and nasty.
Now she's pregnant.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Call the STD.
Yeah, you done got caught up, yo. These other nations that got caught up, man. They got caught up with this whore, man. That's why the scriptures refer to America as a whore.
Yeah.
They all got caught up. They got burnt by her, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Now I got gongoria, I got chlamydia, I'm
Yeah.
gonna kill this bitch, man.
Uncurable.
I make a point, like the brother said, they got burnt by the whore, you know what I mean? Wow. Yeah, and they got burnt by the whore and paying alimony. Let's check this out.
Oh yeah, child support.
The sand niggas, they made a lot of money with America with the oil, but also they had them in 30-year locked deposits to where a lot of their portion of their money was locked in. They couldn't touch it and just make interest off of it. And then they got money tied into American real estate, and a lot of their money is in holding companies. So when shit go under, America can't be like American corporations could be. It's not us. The holding companies went under.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can look that up. I'm not lying.
I know, bro. I know about that, bro.
Alright.
I know about that. I know about that.
Continuing,
Yep.
verse 8, it says Babylon is suddenly fallen
Yep.
and destroyed.
It says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed because the scriptures say what? America is going to be brought down in 1 hour, man. It's going to be a fast ass whooping, man. A fast cleanup. You know, it's going to be a quick treatment. You know, I used to say that.
Beat down.
Yep, I used to say that in the world, man. You're going to get a quick treatment, man. Because this place is going to be brought down within 1 hour, man. Throughout all those thermonuclear missiles, those warheads hitting America, also those concentrated fire coming from the chariots, man. This place is gonna be wiped out suddenly. So you see all these buildings, skyscrapers, the world wonders here in America, that shit gonna be brought down instantly, man, immediately, man. It's gonna come all to naught. Go ahead.
It says howl for her,
Call for her, man, mourn for her. That's what it's saying. Go ahead.
take blame for her pain. If so, it says if so be she may be healed.
Yeah, but America's not going to be healed. It's not going to be like the times of when the Roman Empire fell and they came back into power, the Renaissance time. All right, that's not going to happen in here in America. America is not going to be healed for his pain. This place is never going to rise up again, man.
That's
It's
the
never
part
gonna
you
rise-
so
Huh?
that's the part you so can't get.
Yeah. That's the part they can't understand. That's why when you read Psalms the 49th chapter, it says their inward thought is that what? Their houses shall continue forever. That's that pride. But America is not going to be healed. You're not going to rise up to power again. Why? Because it's going to be a new kingdom being implemented, man. A new people ruling. Righteousness, order is going to come here in the earth. Okay? In America, the only thing that's going to be here in America is them unclean spirits, man. Okay? Go ahead.
Yeah, also to add that the scripture says that only doleful creatures are going to dwell here. Dragons, scorpions. You know, like the land of America is going to be a memorial, man.
Yeah.
Right? Once the kingdom of Israel is ruling, the other nations is going to be like, oh shit. You know, that lake of fire is going to be over here.
Yeah.
It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies.
Yeah, these other nations are going to be judged as well, man. All right? A lot of these nations, a lot of people going to go back to their countries, man. These other nations that make money here in America, like Elam, Moab, Ammon, all of them, they're going to go back to their countries, man, because they're going to see the destruction here in America. But they're also going to be judged as well. How are they going to receive judgment? By being our slaves, man. By facing that hardcore slavery, all right, under the Israelites, man. Y'all going to help, along with Esau, y'all going to help build the kingdom of the Israel, man. Okay? And matter of fact, you can get, that was it?
Yeah.
You can get Revelation.
Start closing down, all right?
Yep, you can get Revelation 21, real quick. And 1. You see? Yep. Go ahead.
Revelations 21:1.
Yep.
And I saw a new heaven
Yep.
and a new earth,
Yeah.
for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away,
Yeah.
and there was no more sea.
Yeah, no more. So it's going to be when you go into the word new, it goes into refresh. It's going to be a refreshed, heaven and earth, man. Because the earth is not going to be destroyed. The scriptures say that the earth abideth forever. What it's talking about this kingdom is going to be brought down. All right, and it's going to be a new kingdom being implemented. All right, and it's going to be a refreshed earth. Why? Because it's going to be righteous people, all right, which is going to be the Israelites, beginning with our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shah, ruling the planet Earth. Okay? Yep. That's it. Yeah. With that, Lord willing, this is edifying. We want to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, and with that, Shalom.